So to count how many albums, I would say I've done for the very first of my 38 years, I was we've done probably more than 10. I think more than probably mga 10 albums. Albums, I mean record albums. And then the CDs came, and then the albums became CDs. So really, I've lost count. But this I can tell you, during my Vicor days, that's when I recorded the most original Filipino music. Not so many of the revivals, which is fine, which is the norm now. But back in the day when we were trying to find out new songs and new sounds and new composers and different arrangers, I can tell you, that's where it all started with Vicor.
Right.
Sure, Aster.
Okay, thank you, Aster. There's no rumor that Bobby was composed for Aster.
No, I'm sorry.
Anyway, from Aster to Eugene Assis, my good friend,
Eugene.
Oh, you. Wait. Yo, right. Kumusta? I always watch your weekend concert with your twin sister Vicky and your son Santino.
Thank you.
Okay. So yung pagbabalik mo dito sa Vicor, you're recording new songs and new albums?
New and not so new. I wanted to do some revivals as well, but can we tell them verb or no?
Yeah.
Can we verbalize? I'm asking if we can start by remaking some of the new sounds, the new songs from the new composers with the old voice. New composer, old voice. New composer, old face. So I'm hoping that I can learn a few tricks, try to bring new life, if it doesn't need it, but to try to bring some new life to some of their favorite songs that the millennials have been listening to. Can you imagine me singing songs like that?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're going to start with while we're still trying to compile some original music as well.
Okay, pero wala nang yung vinyl, wala na. So it's gonna be on different platforms like Spotify, mga ganyan.
Yes, and if you don't like it, it will be on Spitify. But yeah, Spotify and all the different platforms, Nux platforms, I'm so in. But I think they'll also do vinyl. I mean, just to make it. There's going to be. I mean, there already is a market for going back to vinyl records. I'm sure we'll do that too.
Yeah, some are buying vinyl records, yung mga luma. So maybe you can bring it back.
And now we can, because most of my good Luma songs are owned by Vicor, by Viva.
Mm-hmm.
So I can remake right, boss? Can I remake my songs now?
Yes.
Because before I couldn't. Now I can.
Okay, pwede bang personal?
Let me ask. Pwede?
Pwede?
Okay.
Pwede. Hindi naman siya malalim. Anyway, ano yung mga ibang mong pinagkakabalan bukod sa weekend concert with Twin Vicky, and aside from frying, grilling burgers, ano yung mga ginagawa mo?
Me? Wow, that's a good question, because in this new normal, we're trying to do things that are creative. The reason why my twin sister and I went on is because I was going crazy, not being able to sing, not being able to perform, to even do my talk show. I couldn't do it anymore. So we decided to go on Facebook Live and Kumu and all these other platforms to keep my singing going and to entertain the lonely, the scared, the unsure, the unhappy. That was my whole purpose of the whole thing, not knowing that I would be healing myself in the process.
Mm-hmm.
But of the other things that I'm doing that are interesting or not interesting is for the very first time, I went out and saw the ocean. I've not seen the ocean in a long, long time. And I went to the States to get my son Santino to bring him here because there's no school there, and he's been with me for what, almost 2 months now. So I've been more of a father. I've been rearranging furniture. I'm learning how to do this whole, mixer with microphone and lights. And we're all of us singers now. We're all learning to become production people, directors, and sound engineers. For me, that's my biggest lesson learned throughout this whole new normal. That's what I've been doing.
So in other words, by saying that, nagkaroon ka rin ng yung parang na-scare ka din? You were scared of the situation?
I was more scared for people who were already scared. Me, truthfully, I wasn't scared. I think only way we're going to beat this and beat other calamities and viruses is to be positive. That was my main purpose. Is I didn't want to fall into a negative vibe. And that's the only time that negative is not good. Because now we know negative is good, right? Positive is bad, negative is good. It's so confusing. But I tried to stay positive even though I wanted to be negative. And by doing things that are, by tackling life and situations and the news, even the bad news, we couldn't shoot, even losing ABS-CBN, all of these things. I mean, come on, 2020 is really pounding us with challenges. So that was my biggest challenge, to learn to stay positive so that it can project to people who see me on the different platforms or when I'm on television again, that they can also be as positive. I'm hoping that I can be living proof that we can defeat anything by just being positive, or with prayer and with faith in each other, not just in God, but in each other.
Thank you, Mart. You gave me a positive feeling.
We're like rehearsing